Hi, welcome back to CS170. I wanted to run through a couple of different things with arrays, either help you with the assignment or help you with studying for the exam number 2, which is mostly JavaScript. Okay, so I whipped a couple of things up here. One, here's an array. Right, I declared it in two different ways. There's a cars array, which I define like this. Then the flowers array, which I basically set the values upon initialization. Then I set a couple of counters here. I did an alert here just to show you what flowers array.length would look like, which basically should tell you what the size of the array is. Okay, and then I did the counter. Right, within the counter, I started off at 0, same thing as I did up here. I didn't really have to do this up here. I could have declared it here, but I like to set all my variables in one place. I did the counter, has to be less than the array, because remember the array starts off with 0, right? So 0 up to whatever, however many elements, it's always going to be -1 from the length, okay? Then I did the counter plus plus, and then I did the alert just to show what's in there, right? I'll show that to you in a second. Here's add car function that I created. So it takes in that, and I'm using this global counter. So instead of doing a for loop to initialize the values, I'm doing this counter to keep track of it. So it starts off at 0. So car array element 0. So remember, whatever you have in here, whatever that evaluates, as long as it evaluates to a number, that can refer to something in an array, as long as you define the size of the array to have that many elements. Okay, and then have the car here, and then I increment it. So it start off at 0, you're going to go up to 1 after you get out of this. Here, I set up this HTML. Right, normally you might have some, let's say, text box. So it would be textbox.value, and then you can put that into here for your add record that I call here. Here, I just hard-coded it and set it. Okay, so I have 1, 2, and 3 buttons here. Call with the 3 different cars. That I call up here to add the array element. I just mixed it up a little bit here by doing the report. Within the on-click, I just call it JavaScript here, as opposed to calling a function up here, right? And I just did this to just demonstrate you can put your code either up top here or within the on-click. Either case, you're calling JavaScript or you're executing JavaScript. Meanwhile, these things here is basically your HTML. So hopefully that clarifies the difference between the HTML and the JavaScript. The other thing I did here is I used the cars array.length, right? And you remember for the assignment, I kind of created a video where I think you should generate report, really not to use this, right? Because this will tell you the full length of the array, which you remember I declared it to be 10 here. But look, I only added 3 elements in here. I didn't actually fill up all 10 elements. So that's going to give us a little bit of a problem if I do it this way. But I want to put this in here so you can see what happens. Okay? Alright, so flowers.length is 3. Alright, so here's my alert. Flowers length, and it's 3, which is what we expect. 1, 2, 3. Flowers 0, rose, tulip, orchid, see flowers 2, and then I'm out of the loop. So there's 3 elements, but remember it was only up to 2 on the array. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now here I'm going to add the buttons 1, 2, and 3. Alright, I should have probably put it like an alert here so you can see I got into the function, but that's like a trivial thing. You can stick that in there if you want. Now let's do the report. So, well, car 0 Honda, that means I got that in there, right? Cars 1 Audi, cars 2 Ford. Now, remember, I set this to be cars array.length. Let's see what happens. Well, it keeps on going, right? Because it's going to go through the whole size of the array. And you can see it's undefined, right? Cars 3 undefined, and so on and so forth. Okay? And really, like I said, to fix that, you really want to take this counter car as what you're going to do your for loop on, not the cars array.length. Okay, so here I'm keeping an accurate count of how many records I have in here, because every time I go in here, I do a plus plus on it starting from 0. Okay, so take a look at this. I hope this helps you with your studying. You can play around with a couple extra things I suggested. See if you can, mix it up between the HTML and the JavaScript and these type of interactions. If you have any questions about how arrays work, how you can define arrays, how you can assign values to arrays and keep track of it, reference it like this with the counter car, um, send me an email, or we can arrange for a WebEx or something, and we can go over it. Okay, so hopefully you found this helpful. All right, thank you.